Good morning. It's a special day. Can you tell? That's right, it's my birthday. 27 years old today. And much like every girl on their 18th birthday, I'm going to be putting a video out on the internet which is going to embarrass my family and ruin my future. That's right, we're going to have a deep and dirty full day of cheating. I'm going to be going off plan all day today. We're trying to keep things roughly healthy still, you know, making some wise choices, but not going to lie, that is the last thing on my mind. I haven't had a proper cheat day in about 14 weeks. We're deep into the off season. I'm looking forward to having some damn tasty food. And to top it all off, it's leg day. So we're going to really put that food to good use, and we're going to need those recovery calories. We had a good few Q&A questions from this week, which I'll be answering in this video. But before all of that, I'm going to have meal one, the only functional meal of the day, cream of rice, peanut butter, and some whey protein. Simply because I don't really want to fuck with my stomach before the workout, but afterwards, absolutely fine. Coffee, wake and bake, and yes, there will be cake. So, first question of today is, does it get tiring planning my food out every single day and changing things up, or do I stick to the same diet? To answer your question, I guess we'll run through rough how I structure my day. Now, there are some meals which I keep consistent day to day. Pre-workout, cream of rice, some peanut butter, and some whey protein. A post-workout's usually the same, so usually it's just cereal, whey protein, and some bagels or muffins and some jam, right? So we keep that consistent. Then we have 2 rice meals of the day. What meat I choose to use with that is completely up to me. It might be salmon, might be beef, probably won't be chicken because I'm fucking tired of that after prep. And then the last 2 meals of the day are always adaptable for me. Basically, I figure out how many calories I have left, what the macros are, and what I can have that fits within that I really fancy, right? So that gives me 2 meals a day to play around with and just to enjoy. At the end of the day, there's no point using if it fits your macros if you're not going to utilize it. So no, it's not really that tiring, doesn't really take me all that long. Most of the stuff's consistent day to day, but I will say there was a period between sort of prep and now, or prep and the off season, where obviously my cravings were higher, so I was fitting more things in, which did cause a bit of stress trying to plan day to day different food. But now that those cravings have subsided, or I've got the calories to work pretty much anything in, it doesn't really play a factor. Next question's a good one. Once you start pinning test, do you have to pin test for good? Who fucking knows? There's so many variables in this one, aren't there? Genetic response, your natural testosterone levels, your ability to rebound, your age, your dose, your level of exposure, and your length of exposure. If you're pursuing competitive bodybuilding and you're exposing yourself for the length of time to get a pro card, to be a competitive pro, odds are, yeah, you're gonna be shut down for life, and you're probably gonna have TRT as your only option. That's not a hard and fast rule. There are exceptions to every single rule. And for the average person who runs a couple of cycles, I simply couldn't say. And this is why I recommend that on your first cycle at least, you PCT off. Don't make the decision to go straight into blast and cruise. You want to see how your body responds, reacts, and bounces back. If you're young, you're gonna have a good propensity to bounce back. Odds are your test levels are gonna shoot back up near where they were before. But again, even with young age, you do that enough times, eventually, those incremental changes in your natural levels as you come off will add up to mean that you're gonna have low T, and you're gonna have to replace that somehow. Some people can be shut down after 1 cycle. Some people never shut down. It really does depend. If you're gonna start using this stuff, always think about the worst case scenario, and are you prepared to deal with that? If you are shut down after 1 cycle and you have to be on TRT for life, are you okay with that? Decision you got to make. Personally, I think I am. I believe that it will be worth it in the long run if the worst case scenario happens. And let's face it, there are plenty of guys on TRT. Just look at the old guys lifting in the gym with 24-inch fucking arms. I think that 80-year-old got them through hard work, saying their prayers and eating their vitamins. I don't think so. So the next question was, what's your favorite intensity technique? That was it. Rest pause, definitely my favorite. Drop sets are good for stuff like arms, smaller muscle groups where you can't necessarily hit them with the same weight, like 20 seconds afterwards. For me, after reaching failure on say 10, 11 reps, I probably only get one curl out at the same weight, but leg press, for example, I find you've always got more left in the tank than you think. It's like a grown-up version of a drop set, really. I used to love pyramid sets, stuff like that, but I find as I focus more and more on increasing strength, my focus on volume's diminished. Rest pause is just my favourite in order to maintain that strength. They're all good though. Anything that kicks your ass like this, fucking dripping. So legs done and successful session, all in all I'd say. Managed to hit about the same PB as we've been on for the last week or so. Not progressing linearly all the time, you know, but then again, legs aren't really too much of a weakness and I'm quite happy with where strength is at. We still made a nice little jump since starting the off season, so I'm sure we'll get another jump very soon, but I'm just outside Sainsbury's and a little bit of a twist today. I thought it was payday. It isn't. Just check my bank balance. So, here's the story. We've got a budget. There are a couple of things which we can't recreate, which I would be remiss if I didn't include in a birthday cheat day. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pick up some bits here and we're gonna make some of this at home. So first point of call is brioche French toast. I'm gonna get the ingredients and I'll see you back in the kitchen. So we're back and we're here for the post-workout meal. Now, as I mentioned, we're doing some brioche French toast. French toast is overlooked in my opinion. You're talking waffles, pancakes, cookies. You're forgetting about the goat of all breakfasts. That's right, brioche French toast. Now, we're not doing any Coach Greg shit here, although I will be subbing in a little bit of egg whites just for macro purposes and because this bad boy already has more than enough fat in it. But here's the setup. We've got our brioche loaf. We've got nuts and more chocolate chip. We've got cream because I'm a fat piece of shit. And we've got bananas and we have honey. There we are. So we've got our sugar, eggs, egg whites and cinnamon. I'm just gonna whip that all up. Once that's all whipped up, we're gonna add some almond milk. I hate buying bananas in the plastic packaging, but it's the only way I could get any that were ripe. So the next question that we had is, I'm gonna broaden it out. So the person who actually asked it did DM me and I did sort of reply to them directly just because I wanted to make sure they didn't make any decisions, you know, before I'd actually given my input. So they were talking specifically about SARMs, but I want to talk about performance enhancing drugs for recovery. Are they good? Do they work? Well, basically anabolics are going to do minimal to not really much for recovery. Unless it's something like a soft tissue injury where maybe it will help speed things up a little bit or at least just mask the issue, which obviously isn't what we're going for here. We want to fix issues. We don't want to just duct tape over them like us bodybuilders love to do, right? And then suddenly we have a heart attack at the age of 30. So in terms of injuries, what can help you? One thing that is actually shown and proven to help is BPC-157, which is a peptide which is really readily available. Now, this is something which you site inject into the area that's injured, and it's got amazing recovery capabilities, sort of injury repair. There are many cases, including with Josh Bridgman and his hernia, who's my coach, where basically they've said, right, okay, it'll be 8 to 12 weeks before you recover. They've gone in after 3. They're like, you're basically there. How is this possible? Like, every doctor seems to be baffled by it, which shocks me because it seems to be a really, really beneficial compound, which I would have thought that we would use more widely within medicine to actually treat issues and speed up recovery. But apparently not, even though it's cheap and readily available. So this is something which you can utilize. I recommend researching. I haven't had an injury, haven't had to look into it, but all I've heard is that BPC 157 is pretty much a miracle drug. Otherwise, I have heard good things about growth hormone. Now, I'm not really sure on this one. Apparently it does help to speed up and aid recovery, and it's something you can combine with BPC 157. But personally, I can't recommend that because I haven't actually read any literature, and it's just based off a few comments online. So do not take that as gospel. However, BPC, I'm more than comfortable putting my name to and saying that is something which you can explore and see if you can utilize in order to speed up recovery. The most important thing is, though, don't be thinking about how quickly can I get back? How can I cheat the system? How can I get back, sooner? Because that's when you end up with stuff like pec tears and horrible injuries, which could be career defining or ending. So if I were you, I would just step back, utilize this time the best way you can. Maybe you can't lift, maybe you can't do that. Maybe you've been neglecting cardio, maybe you've been neglecting core stability work, maybe you've been neglecting your range of motion, maybe you need to start doing dynamic stretching or yoga or stuff which can really open up your body and help when you return to training to actually optimize that training. Where you would have progressed in at least one area, that might not be weight shifted, but it might be that your muscles are freer to perform that movement and you've got a better mind-muscle connection. Pathetic piece of shit, not even able to eat some fucking brioche. You interrupted my motivational speech. I think I'm just about done. We've got a tiny little bit of brioche left. We'll try and get this down S. But far too much fat in one sitting, that's for sure. Luckily enough, we've got some leaner options through the day. But we're still cheating big, do not fear. Now, next question I wanted to address. In my hazy state, do I want to be a coach? Am I going to be coaching? The answer is yes. If you've been watching or copying the Instagram stories of late, you will have seen that I've set up my coaching page, Classic Coaching. Fucking love that handle. Hey, got there first. I do want to start coaching, but the thing for me is that obviously I need to understand my limitations. Until the point that I go through a contest prep season, I am not equipped to prep anyone, and I would never pretend to or take anyone on for those purposes. I would always refer you to Josh Bridgman, my coach. The reason being is because I don't believe that without being able to have a reference point for that suffering, understanding the peak week protocols in their full depth and all that kind of stuff, that anyone should be taking the reins without prior experience themselves. So what I'm going to be doing next year is we're going to be doing J3 University, John Jewett's University course on coaching, continue to do research in our own time, look at all these kind of things, make sure we nail our methodology, build up the resources I need. And then, next year, hopefully, we'll take on some lifestyle clients. Lots of variables there. I need to feel ready. I want to feel like I can give you the best possible service and bring something new, better to the market. So, of course, until that point, we'll hold off. But do keep an eye out. Follow Classic Coaching if you want to keep up to date. We're on the move again, and we're heading to Co-op for meal 3. So we had our post-workout. We had a little bit of a nap after that brioche because it was heavy. Really bit of a carb coma. I was thinking about what my favourite takeaway is. What's my favourite cheat day food? And honestly, I'm a simple man. I'm a British man. I like a good sandwich. So Subway would be my place of choice. Probably a steak and cheese or turkey or something like that. I was looking at Deliveroo or Uber Eats. £10 for a fucking baguette. £10. And we all know what the ingredient quality is like. So we're off to Co-op. We're going to get ourselves the ingredients. We're going to make ourselves an epic sandwich for meal 3. So we're going to be making a chicken, bacon, Peronaise, sweet corn baguette here. If you don't have these, or you don't know about these, get on them. The part-baked baguettes. We've got some chicken breast, cooked streaky bacon, Nando's Peronaise, the hot version, of course, because we ain't no pussy. Moving on, we've got sweet corn. Why do I have sweet corn? Because I like it. Get off my fucking back already. It's veg, 5 a day. So I'm going to be mixing up this concoction. I'll probably just have one baguette because I'm not quite that much of a fat boy at the moment. So the next question for today as well is, why did I hire Josh? Kind of leading on from the coaching question. You can check my video about how to actually, find what coach works for you in the card up there. My decision to choose Josh was based off a few factors. I was further along my fitness journey, about 5-6 years in. I had already obsessively researched stuff, built up my own opinions, my own sort of approach to bodybuilding. And that's something that I encourage everyone to do. Find the core information yourself and judge your own opinion, because that's all anyone else is doing. I wanted to find somebody who fitted with that. I wanted to find somebody who I followed already, who I had a level of respect for, which meant that I would just follow the order. I find it hard to take somebody's opinion at face value, not delve into it, have my own thought on it. So I wanted to make sure we were already on the same sort of level. Josh follows safer use. I wanted to follow safer use. Josh's approach to training, nutrition, Josh's approach to life and business, all correlated very much with my own way of living. And so that struck a chord with me. It was actually between 3 people, Josh, Ben Chow, and Cuba. Now, there are multiple factors, price, location, all that kind of thing, but in my eyes, Josh is the best choice for me. Yeah, I felt like I would get on with him as a person, and that's a really important thing too. You've got to like your coach. Well, not necessarily, you don't have to like them all the time, but you have to, have some form of respect for them, or see them in some level of authority, and, want to get along with them at least, or want to please them, because sometimes you're going to forget your own why. And sometimes you need somebody who's going to hold you accountable. And Josh, for me, filled that bill. At the end of the day, it's all a gamble, and you can only go through the steps that I laid out in my video to judge whether they're going to be the right person for you. It is a big investment, but you can change at any time, and that's something that's worth bearing in mind. Josh has done great things for my physique. I've seen the way his physique has changed throughout the years, and I want to achieve something similar. So why not go right to the source? So we're just back from the pub, just gone for some drinks. Of course, it's my birthday, one time a year where we take a break from the bodybuilding lifestyle, right? We've got the best food of all, Domino's. So picked ourselves up some chicken strips, and of course, the go-to, Texas barbecue on double decadence. My boy's got the garlic and herb crust. Ready to dig in. Now some cake, some cookies. But I hope you like the content today, the Q&A, the day in the life. If you like this, let me know in the comments. We'll bring you more stuff like this. And we still got, of course, a push day in the life and a rest day in the life to go. Out of 10 cake to end the day. Well done, baby. And I'm gonna go fall into a coma now. Yeah, I'm fucked. I'm done. I'm stuffed. I'll see you in the next one.